Right, okay. I really cannot believe that. Okay, hi everybody. Please let me know you're here in chat. Hi, Harmonica. Yes, deep breaths. Absolutely. What an absolute pig's ear that YouTube have been tonight. I don't understand why things have gone so. Why things have gone so cocked up. I can't even get the backup screen bloody working. Oh my god, everything was working right up until... Oh, really? So, it looks like I've been hit with the Scopely bug. So, hi, welcome in everybody. Harmonica, Kevin, Jerry, Damien. I'm hoping everything's over there in California. I did actually catch a comment on the actual scheduled bloody stream. But and Darren, welcome into chat, guys. So now I've got my backup screen working. Jesus Christ. Right, I better actually turn that bugger down so we don't hear it. You got the trebles in your phone again. Hey, Big Me. Yes, I have got the trebles again. They're playing me up somewhat chronic. I don't understand what was going on. I think it's got something to do with Prism because I tried to run it through Prism, get it connected. It wouldn't do it. So I shut Prism down. That wasn't sorting it. But anyway, let's get on with the show. So, hi, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Welcome to the Pegasus Show, live here on Tuesday, daytime, nighttime, wherever you are in the world. Now, big shout out and hope everyone's okay across America a minute who's actually suffering with the severe weather and also all the other areas of the world that's been suffering with the wildfires and everything. So now, as you can see popping up at the top of the screen, Rev Juice has dropped a video. So it's one thing Lube going live on the same night as me, but it's also another thing for Rev dropping a new video as well. Told you not to feed them, drop them on quiz. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't get that memo. You must have dropped it when I joined the Alliance, mate. So, but yeah. But here we are on the stream. You see I got a mission up on the screen, but hey ho. Now, there is one question I do want to ask everyone in chat and everyone watching right now. Who has found the mission Diversion? Because there is a mission called Diversion. It's a multiple parter. I can find the first waypoint, sort of. I found the system, easy enough, thanks to stfc.space, but I don't know where it actually starts. And obviously it was a conversation earlier in our Alliance, so I don't even know. You slept since then. Yeah, I know that feeling. I wish I could get more sleep than I do. I mean, I'm ridiculously going to bed at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and my son's up between 5 and 6, somewhere in there. So it's like, yeah, I'm not getting a lot of sleep myself. So, but hey ho, it is what it is. So, right, I just need to undock Voyager because I'm not even sure if I've actually been out and done my my summons today, to be honest. So no, I haven't. So we're going to send it out there. Now I'm going to make sure I put the correct crew on because I want to make sure I get the correct loot. Now I'm actually going to try a slightly different crew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the option to put my crew on Voyager. Now, there is 3 officers I'm going to make sure that I specifically have. One is Hugh for the critical hits. You still got to wait 24 days. Hey, don't worry, Pygmy. I've got a full hour-and-a-half video of the entire 7-day grind to the beginnings of Voyager. So, got that video. The Doctor's obviously staying, and 5 of 11 is obviously staying. So I've got 3 slots up for available. One is a below deck, and the other 2 are on the bridge. So let's make them clear. So I want to see what crew that you would think you'd put on there. Now I know Kang is going to be one of them. Swap Kirk for Neelix. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't got Neelix at current. I've just rewatched that Neelix video. I would absolutely love him, but I'm 23 from 38, so I'm 15 shards short. I should be getting 10 shards tomorrow after the event. That light's actually really, it's really badly positioned. See if I can just get it up here somehow. If I can just get it on there. No, it's not going to work on there. So right, how bad's the actually that's a little bit better itself. Now yes, Gorkon on the bridge for the whole bridge, and if we actually just put up the crew now. I know that this is one use Khan 5 as Cap and Gorkon. Okay, yeah, so Khan would obviously definitely be a good one for his below deck ability. No Neelix, then Kang, Lorca, or Gorkon, still Grush, third attack or health stats. There's an interesting one. Now, I don't need Grush at current, because with Grush, my war range for Voyager will only increase to 334. That's 11 points short of the next system. So I'm already as far as I can literally get myself. So having Grush on the bridge at the minute is counterproductive, because Voyager can do it by itself without too much of an issue. So yeah, done. I'm literally just tested the idea about what time is it now? It's 9:46. So it was around about half an hour ago I tested it just to see if I could actually reach that distance. Hence the reason why Grush was still on the bridge at the start of this show instead of the scheduled show. That's really peed me off. That am I close to upgrading my warp engines? Well, let's have a look. Upgrade. Janeway is captain. Hey Matt, welcome in. So let's see how close I am. No, I'm actually about 1,000 gas away. There's a potential if things were... Is that music too loud? Is that music sounding too loud for everyone? Or another TR warp research. I think that's literally as far as I go. Hey, let me think. Seda? Would we be best off saying Seda? It's Paul. Hey, Paul. Yeah, you have to remind me because Paul. Seemed trouble joining tonight. Yes, no, the scheduled stream. In fact, I better take that down. Unfortunately, was actually being a right pain in the backside. So now. So better take that one down. I did actually put a message in there. Oh, crying out loud. How am I going to get rid of that bloody thing? That's it. I'm saying I need to take this down now. So obviously no people keep going to that live stream. Unfortunately, it's going to make the... can't believe... I know how to get rid of it. Jeez Christ. Mine's really not working today. So, right. So there's... So we get rid of that one. And then the other one which appeared out of nowhere. So there we go. So we've got rid of them. Don't need to worry about them anymore. So which means all being well, hopefully everyone will actually come over to the main live stream here. Now, Harmonica, you were saying about the research. I've got an 18-day. I don't actually know if I've got enough to cancel to clear off the particular research. But if I'm right, I am as far as I can go. Hey, Borg, welcome in, mate. I literally think I'm as far as I can go. So if we get yes, I've gone back to the standing position from the live streams. For those of you who do remember back then, when I was just stand up. Yeah, antimatter recycler. Unfortunately, yeah, I need to be Ops 40, R&D 47 before I can actually add an extra 50 points to it. So sadly, I'm literally as far as I can go. I have been actually cracking a lot of Voyager research through, as you can actually see by the numbers. I don't believe it. I've still got one piece of research I've not actually opened. Yeah, what 1,000 gas? I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but I mean, it is what it is. There's not a lot we can do. Yes, I pull them in first thing in the morning. Usually it's before I've even got out of bed at the minute, because it's school holidays here in the UK. It's before I've even got out of bed. So obviously I absolutely love them too. And I think that's one thing that's definitely going to separate the Voyager arc from the Deep Space Nine arc, is the fact that Deep Space Nine, despite the Starbase assaults and the Starbase itself... Hey Chris, welcome in, buddy. Deep Space Nine was actually, to me, in my opinion, now you can feel free to tell me that I'm wrong, but Deep Space Nine was far better than the Voyager arc. Just saying. I mean, at the end of the day, that's entirely up to you, if you see it as that way. Is that music too loud? Because it sounds too loud to me. Also, I want to make sure it's not blasting over everything. But as I said, I've literally maxed out as much as I can. Obviously, there are a few blue arrows left because I need the music. That's fine. All right, that's fine. But thinking about that, I've got kids in bed, haven't I? And I'm not far away from them. Oh, hello. And I've already had one come in. Not too loud, that's fine. I've already had one come in literally at the start of the scheduled show. So I had to quickly put her back to bed. But as you can see, I'm slowly working my way through the research. The next one, I'm going to probably make sure that I put some absolute... the free-to-play is really... Yeah, Paul, we're going to discuss that in a bit about the loot and everything. Because even yesterday, Rev put a video out about what's going on. But apparently, everything's being back. The bulk of the loot is going to be backloaded on the event, so it should be dropping this week. Now we've got our first 14.2 thousand. Anyone who's been following the Discord will see me posting the SMSs only. I'm not posting SLBs and ALBs. I'm just doing the SMSs, which free-to-play players can do. Which means with the ticketed events, I'm not putting all 3 ticketed events. I'm only using one, because as a normal free-to-play player, you won't have extra tickets. I don't have extra tickets unless Scopely managed to do that clock with us. And yes, we had the compo chest as well yesterday, which was nice. Another 18,000, whoopie-doo-dah day. They could have actually put an extra 100,000 in it, and then I would have been a big smile on my face. But so with the loot, yes, we will discuss it later and get everyone's opinions on how they're loving it and absolutely basking in loot and able to buy anything that they want from the store. So yeah. But anyway, back onto this research. The next one I will be looking at is the Voyager bartering to reduce the component costs for Voyager. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, the video was yesterday, and obviously with the loot chest dropping in the chest, as well as some skill points thingamajiggers. Hey, Mark, welcome in, mate. So, but yeah. So I'm going to work on this particular research when I get round to doing it. Now, if I remember correctly as well, about a week or two ago, Hugo was actually on about the number of times you can do the refinery and actually probably pull off a few refineries with a tier up and using a particular research and actually get 3 individual pulls. Yes, it is this piece of research here. So basically, you tier up your Voyager first. It's going to reset your refinery. You pull your refinery, put level 1 of this in, get it cleared. It'll reset the anomaly samples, uncommon and the rares, common, should I say, it will reset those anomaly sample chests, pull them again, do level 2 on this, and it will reset them again. So sadly, I can't show you because obviously I've already done it. But it was nice to actually get a fair whack of pulls, which has enabled me to smash out a load of research here. Evening Bandit, welcome in, buddy. So, but yeah, so I would recommend doing that. If you've not done the Artifact Hunter Extraordinaire yet, brilliant. Go for the 3 pulls. It was a great start, yeah. And when Hugo was explaining it, it was just like, really? What? I mean, what? Okay, it was difficult for me to understand. And then, it's all like a few days ago, I just sort of like clicked on. I was about to tear up Voyager. I thought, hang on a minute. This was what he was on about, wasn't it? So I tiered up Voyager, and then I went through the steps. And I was happy to pull quite a lot of the circuitry fragments, which bought me a load, pretty much opened up all the research, but I really should have got that one there, that one there, the faction Armada stratagem. But I'll get round to unlocking that one. You did it as well, did you, Matt? Yeah. So it's a great little tactic there. Brilliant. And yeah, I can't really fault that kind of a mechanic. I don't know if it was intentionally meant to do that. Hey, Card, welcome in. But if it was intentionally meant to do that, then that's brilliant. Scopely actually surprisingly gave us something good. But if it wasn't meant to do that, then yeah, all I can say is thank you, Scopely, for accidentally putting that in there. But anyway, so Voyager is actually not done particularly too bad for me when it comes to hostiles and everything. So I don't primarily use it, but my biggest acquisition this week, and it was literally within the last couple of days, was the acquirement of Janeway. A massive boost to my hostile hunting. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to have any battle logs. If they are, they're going to be right down at the bottom. But yesterday, no, unfortunately, bloody hell, I killed over 300 targets today. That's just today. Wow. Okay, so I've really been active in grinding today. But I put my PMC on my Kelvin, and then on my Valdor, I put Janeway. Who else did I put on the bridge with her? I put Tom Below Deck, because I've also acquired him as well. I got him about a day or two after I got Janeway. And had about 2,600 hostiles in the field training before I got Voyager. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just slowly working on the hostile kills. I'm not particularly in any rush to actually get them, but yeah. I put Janeway on the bridge. Oh, Harry Kim. Yeah, Harry Kim. And I think I put Balana on the bridge as well. I definitely put Tom Below Deck. So I know that much, because if I remember correctly, that's where people were raging about where Tom is actually very effective, is on the Below Deck. So obviously I've put in Below Deck for that ability. And using both the Kelvin and the Valdor working together, I was smashing up level 50, 51 Romulan immortal targets in the G5 system. And I literally did pretty much, with the exception of a bit of a gap, 3 solid hours of grinding in Romulan space. I managed to get myself to glorified last night. So I was happy with that. I've done a quick bit of maths, and I can start bringing in the Federation faction to actually start getting the credits off them. Hey Driz, welcome in. Who to unlock first, Doctor or Janeway? Doctor. Doctor all the way. Now, the reason I'm going to say the Doctor, and we'll jump into the officers for this. Let's get them all grouped, because they're going to be all over the place now. And obviously, Voyager's going to be right down here at the bottom. Here we go. So, and luckily they're next to each other in the order of things. Now, Janeway's captain's ability is obviously... why is that at 20%? Why is that at 20%? That shouldn't be that high. I'm guessing she's on a ship and she's got full synergy either side. So with full synergy, obviously tier 1 Janeway will give you a 20% increase to your shield mitigation for 1 round, but it does stack. Now that is a very effective ability. No questions asked. I'm not going to dispute it. It is very effective. And then a below deck ability is giving your ship the isolytic cascade damage. It's only 10% to start with, but it can certainly be pretty damn good. If you put it on a ship that's got the research attached to it with isolytic damage research, the artifacts, it'll add that on top. I was banging out 11.1% of isolytic damage yesterday against those Romulans, and that was because of Janeway on a Valdor, and obviously the standard isolytic damage when fighting hostiles. So yes, Janeway is actually pretty damn good. It will make an awesome second PvE crew for you below 52. Below 52. What's going to be like above that, I don't quite know. I've not actually sent myself out there yet, put myself on hub system and challenged it. But if you really want me to test that one, I'm sure we can actually get that in somewhere tonight. But we're saying get the Doctor first. And it's absolutely true. The Doctor is the one you really do want first. And out of the event store this month, he was the one I went for. And this is the reason why we're going to say the Doctor first. Because you always need more resources. When it comes to the G4 and G5 regions, Driz, I don't know what ops level if you are. Drop us your ops level, mate. But when it comes to that, you need as many broken parts as possible. He sits on your Mantis and Talios. Yeah, exactly. He does for me. I'm now breaking 3 million with the Talios in loot, and I only need 2.4 million per day. So getting that extra 0.6 million means I'm going to start building up a surplus, which means at some point I can just sit back. 43. Yes, so definitely the Doctor. But yeah, I can sit back eventually and not have to worry about making sure that I do the Borg grind every single day. But taking that into account, I know for if I miss a day or two, I'm going to end up having to do it for several days solid to make sure I get back on it, or maybe just a couple of runs in a day. So absolutely doing this. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I also think this also goes towards faction reputation and ship experience as well. I can't remember. If anyone in chat does actually remember this, please obviously drop it in chat and let us know. But yeah, this is why we always say the Doctor, especially for those G4 and G5 players. Harry is X. Damien, I'm not quite sure what you mean by he's X. If you're on about for morale on explorers, then experience. Yeah, Harry's experience for the factions and everything. Excellent. What's that for, Bandit? But yeah, so but Doctor, Janeway, and then Chakotay if you want. Doc said to me, is said to be the same as 5 of 11. 511 is said to work on faction rep. Ah, right. Oh, it was a guess, was it, Bandit? Yeah, no, I think it's on about experience, faction experience. So, yeah, the Doctor is a below deck 511. But bearing in mind, he's roughly about half of what 5 of 11 will do. So, I mean, at the minute, my 511 is tier 3, and she does 60%. But still, you got Chakotay to tier 2. That's brilliant. I mean, I think I've got a tier 2 Chakotay as well. So, look, yeah, I've got a tier 2. because that was during the month where we had one of the best amounts of sourcing for an epic officer, and I had plenty of materials to actually go for it. He boosts health. Boosts health. Are you on about the Doctor? Yes, the Doctor will boost health because he is a health of specified officer. So now it makes logical sense that he would have the health because he is a doctor. He is basically, for all intents and purposes, a computer program designed to uphold the Hippocratical oath, which is basically to first do no harm. So obviously that's the Hippocratical oath we have here in the UK, and I believe it's also the same in the US and most countries in the world, actually, that doctors and nurses have to uphold the Hippocratical oath. I do think it's a Jane one. Now, when it comes to the Doctor, I wouldn't be worried too much about the traits, because I guarantee if you got the Doctor, he's never going on an away team. Pick Beverly is good for broken parts. Well, to be perfectly honest, since getting Tal, she's been put back in the mess hall and just told, yeah, you know what, just chill there. You're not needed just yet. We'll call you when I actually get there. My 5'11" is at 60%, and my Doctor has 20%. Nice. I think 20% is the next one that I get. Yeah, the next one I get when I go to tier 2 is actually a 20% boost. So that's fine. I use Galanar for Borg, but Doctors are all around better. Yeah, I use both, mate. I use both. Because the one thing is I found as well, when it comes to using my Talios, putting 5 of 11 on the bridge actually makes my Talios weaker. Whereas with the Doctor and Galanar and using Strange New Worlds crew, I can actually max out my cargo. But yet, using 5 of 11 on the bridge, yeah, I'm not going to make it. I'll probably get to something like about 2.2 million, which is actually way short than where I need to be. So, but I use both the Doctor and Galanar when it comes to do the Borg, and when it comes to do the Actian hostiles as well for the Venom. So, making sure that I can fill my cargo hold without too much of an issue. But yeah, so absolutely, Driz, go for the Doctor first, and then Janeway would be a very close second. Chakotay, obviously, you just mentioned is tier 2, so you've already got Chakotay, which is absolutely good. Then another officer that I would highly recommend that you get, especially for having Voyager, is going to be this Vulcan next to me, Tuvok. Make sure you get him because he will increase your cargo size as a below deck for Voyager specifically. It is very niche, I will say that. You can use him on the bridge in against these formation armadas. I mean, increasing your loot by about 80%. Yeah, okay then. I consider that sort of like a throwaway. Yes, it would be nice to have that 80%, but first of all, you've got to make sure that you can hit a target sufficiently high enough to actually get the better loot. Because there's no point being able to hit like a level 56 formation armada without Tuvok, but yet you've got to come down to a 53 just to use Tuvok. To be perfectly honest, the loot difference between the two would be roughly, as an estimation off the top of my head, would actually be around about the same. So, in all honesty, to me, this ability is just a throwaway. Now, obviously, if you get to like a tier 4, tier 5, where that ability becomes absolutely outstanding, then yeah, I would actually reconsider that. Because taking on that 53 then with Tuvok is definitely going to give you more of the artifact tokens than that 56 would have done. But then again, by the time he's that high, your stats are all right, which means you can go take on that 56 with Tuvok and hell, benefit from the increased loot. So, in a sense, at the minute as a tier 1, tier 2 and 3, tier 3, you're probably actually more on the border, but tiers 1 and 2, I really wouldn't use him as an officer on your bridge, just stick him below deck. I mean, if we actually jump into his thing is, officer ability at tier 2 is going to be 100% and 150% for below deck, so definitely the cargo. absolutely you're gonna absolutely need that increase when it comes to mining with Voyager. I mean, if I don't even know if I've got any warp tokens at the minute. I think I'm fresh out, so we won't be able to go out and actually see if we can find anybody mining with an actual miner. So right, so I don't know why I clicked locate. I wanted manage. So circling back round then. So we have this crew at current. Obviously, I said, what officers would you consider using? The issue with this officer ability is it does not work for the rare. It doesn't work on the rares. Oh, in that case, then it's an absolute throwaway card, isn't it? For an officer ability, it's an absolute throwaway because the rares are where you're actually going to need it. So, but hey ho, it is what it is. So yeah. Now the crew formation obviously on the bridge I've got here is what I saw DJ using in one of his videos. Obviously the whole bridge and Kang, because obviously Kang's ability is actually increasing your ship's accuracy. Now, given the fact that Voyager is an explorer and the bioships that you go after are interceptors, you've already got the triangle there. Having that extra boost from Kang as well is going to make it all the worthwhile. And not to mention as well, you've got Gorkon on the bridge as well with his stats as being primarily attack, and it's very heavy on the attack. So absolutely worth having that. I mean, you can see the stats I've got across the board at the minute. You see health, I'm very lackluster in. Realistically, I'd probably need a little bit more health just to help with 511's captain's ability. Here, I'd say it doesn't matter. You'll be able to kill the up next session with Grush on the bridge immediately. So lower mobs would be easy peasy right now. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm absolutely tearing why Gorkon over Lorca. Now, Dizzy, that's actually a damn good question. Why would I pick Gorkon over Lorca? Now, if we look at Gorkon's officer's ability, he has a 90% chance of causing hull breach for 3 rounds on an opponent's ship. But my ship needs to be hit first for this to actually work. So that's a 90% chance of causing hull breach. So pretty much I'm going to be getting hull breach most of the fight. Now, if we actually scroll and find Lorca, he's actually lower down. So for my Lorca, Gabriel, where are you? I bet I've already passed him, haven't I? No, there he is. So here's my my Lorca. So quick thinking. Now, here, he gives me a 60% chance. So pretty much not guaranteed to proc most of the fight. Not guaranteed to proc most of the fight. And it only lasts for 2 rounds. So for me, I'm getting a round less. But he does start at the beginning. Now, you can't always guarantee that you're actually going to get that hull breach proccing straight away. So, would I take Gorkon over Lorca? And to me, I mean, they'll be entirely up to you how you do this. My answer would be yes, because I'd rather it not proc at the beginning of the first round, take that hit to pretty much guarantee that I'm going to be proccing hull breach pretty much through the entire fight. And bearing in mind that I need to beat these bioships within the first 7 rounds. Because if I get to round 8, I guarantee the first shot in round 8, I might as well go dig myself a grave and put myself in it. Because literally that's where I'm going. So, what about Picard, Janeway, Lorca? A bit out there. Ooh. Now, I can see where you're coming with Picard. Now, I've got to remember where Picard actually is in my list. I think I've still got him on a ship. So he might be in the ship's list. No, there he is. He's not actually. So, looking at this, officer's ability, increasing critical damage by 5%. Okay, so that's good. Now, if we actually put him on the bridge, increases officer abilities that trigger in combat by 20%. So, yeah, I don't think you're really going to gain much of a boost on your isolated damage with Janeway. In all honesty, I don't think it's going to be sort of like, yeah, this is a great crew. This is good. This is going to be what it takes. But yeah, so I'm not convinced. So, but I will say, Mark, what's your name in Discord as well, and Damien as well, the same, because obviously I've got a role in Discord for YouTube members. There's no perks for it. It's just a new role where eventually things will start as my career through being a content creator progresses. I'll start adding things for like YouTube members in the Discord. So if you can just tag me in the Discord, so I know it's you, both Damien and Mark, and I know there's a third one, but I've not seen him in chat yet, so I don't think he's here. Better results with Janeway synergy, yeah, absolutely. But the one thing with that one, Mark, is with Janeway is the captain's ability that becomes synergy, whereas Picard does the officer's ability. So synergy doesn't affect officer's ability, which is a sad thing, because I'd absolutely love it if we could do that, but it is what it is, sadly. So, but yeah, so Picard, Janeway, and Lorca is not a crew I would probably even consider. I mean, yeah, it is out there. It's a distinct possibility. So, I mean, I think you can pretty much put almost anybody with Janeway. So, but yeah. Right. Okay, got you. Right. Yeah. So the one thing is about, right, I asked you if you was a member on YouTube, and you said no, you are. So I'll get the roles added to you after the stream. But yeah, so if anyone else wants to be consider becoming a member of the channel, obviously there is the join button. You just have to go over to my channel's homepage, and yeah, Damien, I've got your message, buddy. I'll add you all in after the stream. But yeah, so if you want to become a member, obviously, by all means, go click that join button. It is a small fee which comes directly to the channel, but it's at the minute it's sort of I've got to reach a threshold for them to send me a code to get logged in and everything else. Then I've got to reach a slightly higher threshold just to start getting paid. But again, it'll be still money that comes in and helps the channel as well. By the time I probably reach that threshold, I'd have actually reached 1,000 subscribers, so I'll be getting ad revenue as well. But luckily with YouTube, which is the one reason why I like YouTube better than Twitch, is you don't get adverts dropping in the middle of your stream. Unless it's the music from Spotify. Because obviously I don't pay for premium Spotify. So I'm trying to be a cheapskate and do everything on the cheap, but obviously when I do get a PC set up, it won't be all the bells and whistles, but it'll be a lot better than what I've currently got right now. So, done. Mark, you've actually got me wondering there. What have you done? So, now, obviously we're looking for health. Unfortunately, my best health officer is actually on the away team. I sent him on one. His first trip out of the dock in some time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Crush there because... Discord. Ah, right, okay. Right, okay, buddy. Yeah, so Grush has all-round stats. So Grush is a relatively decent one that you'd want to consider making sure he's on a ship. Whether it's on the bridge or it's below deck. I mean, mine's only level 23 at the minute. As you can see, he is predominantly a health officer, but his other stats for the attack and defense are still pretty juicy as well. Now, obviously, when I do get him up to level 30, eventually, those stats are going to become incredibly high, to say the least. So right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this crew and we're going to send it out. I'm going to summon some bio ships. Now the one thing is as well, if you've not already noticed this, I think I use Lorca because his T3 starts affecting round 1. Yeah, I say if yours is T3, then yours is probably in a far better position than what mine is. There he is. Yeah, mine's only tier 2 at the minute. So yeah, again, I wouldn't consider really using mine at the minute. I mean, if we go up to if we actually look at his abilities and not the traits, quick thinking. So yeah, he's going to add 10% going up to tier 3. And if he continues on the 10%, so 70, 80. So he's got a chance of being at 90%. When he gets that 80% for me, so which basically means if I'm right in my math, is tier 4, I guarantee he's going to replace Gorkon all day long. Absolutely. I still would take 80% over 90% because obviously, like you said, starting off from the fight, the start of the round. So right, let's get Voyager out there. Now, what I will say is I want to quickly also bring this up. Let's get rid of these. Is one thing you'll notice is Voyager, when it comes in, is using the new superhighways as added. Now, he can't go as far, but he can at least go to there. But, oh no, he's coming in via the... let's just put a captain on here. Because I noticed... Oh, right, you send your crew Voyager crews. Yeah, that's absolutely fine, mate. Now, when I did... Oh, right, hang on. Oh, no, they are still using the superhighways. Ah, because I noticed that there were some ships were using the superhighways, which was a little bit confusing, but okay, no, so I was wrong. I'd rather be wrong than right, in all honesty. So, right. Let's have a look at these, quickly have a look at these crews that you sent me. I've rearranged my Discord lately. So, alright, so you've got the full crew one. Yep, full cargo crew, which at the minute, my... so, there's my full cargo crew at the minute. Obviously, that's what I would use for Voyager mining. Janeway, B'Elanna, and 5. That's an interesting one. It is a very interesting one. So, going right. So that's that one done.
No matter how warm it gets this summer, it will never be as hot as our boiler service. Just book one in and you'll only pay £74 down from 99. And with your boiler sorted, you'll
right. So
you're ready for whatever winter throws your way. Safe in summer, so you're sorted in winter. Book an expert boiler service today.
Right, having two marks in chat is it's very complicated to remember who's which one's which. But yeah, I see that Janeway crew is yeah, it's definitely one that we can definitely look at testing. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I've not unlocked this system, so it's a perfect chance to drop. So I'm going to send Voyager home, and I'm going to run that Janeway crew that you suggested. Oh yeah, there's Janeway right now. Oh yeah, so there we go. That's Janeway crew. So Well, we'll take them off. I'm getting used to nowadays to not having some captains on my ships. So we'll bring Voyager home. It shouldn't take too long, all being well. No, 2 minutes. So that'll give us a chance to speak about something else from the arc. Yeah, use the mark that was in my voice chat. Yeah. So, right. So it's the other mark, the MARK. If you drop me a message in Discord, just tag me, and then I can add your role to you in Discord. Hello, Captain Sparrow shared something from Discord in Lions chat. I wonder what that could be. Yeah, I'm done the stage for a while, but eventually we'll get round to bringing the stage back. Cheers, buddy. So let's get these claimed. How many people actually still collect the 10-minute chest? Because I'd be curious to know how many people actually bother with that 10-minute chest. I mean, I do all the time. You also use it. Yeah, I mean, it may be just like never. It may be just like small amounts. But hey, Bath, welcome in, buddy. But yeah, so yeah, you need the resources. Exactly. It may be small amounts, but it's like, yeah, okay. Let's go with it. Hey, Quincy, Kevin, as well. Yeah, they do all add up, Kev. They do. So you can't help yourself. Not me. Don't mind red data either. No, Darren, I've got to go with that one. Mark, you're absolutely right. Free is free. Exactly. We don't get much for free in this game, especially this arc. But no, mining red data. Once you've reached that particular point where you can start getting the green corrupted, is it no? Is it corrupted? Yeah, it's corrupted. Then that's the one you actually go for mining. That's what I do. I hate the 10-minute chest. I wish no notification for that chest. Something there. Yeah, no 10-minute chest. Damien, you still mine the red? You said that you've just leveled up a notch, because I remember you mentioning something. Yeah. Hey, dude, but you do it for the money. I don't even bother with it for that. It's literally not worth the money for me. But then again, that's my opinion of red data. It's like, yeah, not even worth doing. So right, so Voyager's home. So let's get Janeway up here. So I'm going to take them off. And then why I put her there, I do not know. And B'Elanna. So let's send it out. Let's see how much damage I actually get with this one. So, oh, this one's going to take 3 minutes to get there. This is the one thing I don't get. Sometimes, why does it take longer to get somewhere? I mean, going home was actually quicker. But then again, what I don't get is why some of the ships take completely different warp routes. Because there is one particular route down here. So say like I've got a ship in this particular system, and I might be able to show you it if it actually does it. Something to know: don't upgrade Voyager too high before your Ops R&D 43. Yeah, exactly, Matt. You will get level locked on your warp research, and obviously you don't want to go too high. But yeah, I mean, it's like now I've got to wait for Ops 47, R&D 47 before I can go any further. Which is a bugger, because it's going to be at least 6 months before I actually go to R&D 47. So, Because at the minute I'm debating whether to do a massive jump to 49 in 6 months' time, or just do a single level once I've got all the research done. Because I want to get literally all my research up to date. Yeah, it does. And that's one thing as well that I've noticed. Yeah, if you can't go too deep, then you kind of sort of shoot yourself in the foot a little bit. So make sure that your walk range stays equal to where Voyager is. Get your walk range maxed out to where you can, and then Voyager to as far as you can actually go. So now, if I go for this system, now look at the securest route that my ship is having to go. Go 49. Yeah, that's the one thing I was thinking, Quincy, is do I go to 49 and then just sit there and then build up everything ready for going to G5? Because G5, I'm planning around, let me think, December 2025. I want to make sure that I've got enough time to get all the materials and all the resources and make sure that I've done everything that I need to for G4, because I've heard once you go G5, which is Ops 51, not 50, because we've had 50 in the game before G5 was released, because that's where your G4 epics are. But once you go to 51, that's it. All G4 materials basically get cut off. You don't get any more materials. It's pure G5. But that's what I've heard. Can't wait for hopefully getting it because of the summoning cost. No, that's one thing I'm waiting for. Your Ops 43, thinking I might go to 44 and camp there. Only been 43 for a month. Got most builds research complete due to doing the SLBs. Paul, I would probably say stay at 43. Get everything done. Trust me. The last thing you want to be doing is coming into Ops 44, 45, 46 and having loads to actually do. Trust me, it's not nice. If you want to make that natural progression, I would definitely say stick at 43. Get your G4 uncommon ship, whichever one you've chosen, up to tier 5 before you definitely make any more progression. That's what you're doing, Quincy, is it? Quincy, what ops level are you? Are you 49? But yeah, so Paul, I'd stick at 43 for a little bit longer. Obviously, the SLBs are brilliant because they do speed you along a little bit. So, but I mean, if I showed you the research that I've got to do, so if we're going into here, and we start with just the combat tree on its own. That's it, Matt. Yeah, you was mentioning that you've just been gone up, but if you see that I've got a couple of G3 ones left to do, but I don't really use Klingon ships, so I'm not particularly fussed about getting them done. The barrage ones, I've got to find one more particle, but if you look here, shield modulation, that needs shield ray 5 defenses, and if we go through about how far we've got to go, but obviously I need R&D 46 before I can do that. That's just to do all the blanked out ones. But there's still a couple of bits and bobs I've got to do in here before I go any further. And then if we go into the station tree, these are the primary researches. As you can see, I've got a couple here, but obviously I need to be a higher R&D level first before I get any of them. Again, Klingon stuff. But if you actually look at all this station stuff, I've still got to do all this, all with the green lights. I've still got to get all that done. And I've got all these. So what's on? That's still R&D 45, that grayed out one there. Rapid research, R&D 45. So, and then this one, here we go. So this is where we get to the R&D 46, which will really help with your repairs when it comes to those rares. You're at 49, went from 46 to 49. Nice. One of the reasons to jump 42 to 43 was Voyager Warp research and other things. Yeah. Absolutely. If you can find a reason to go 43 from 42, then absolutely change the camping to 43. But I would definitely stay where you are, because like I say, I'm not going to go any further from 46 until I've got all this research done, got it as high as I can go. I mean, it's like I've got assembly line here. That's still waiting to go. You went 35 to 39, Damien. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's what you was discussing. You mentioned to me, if I remember correctly, because I'm sure it was you mentioned it in the Discord. Your Kelvin's already tier 6, scrapping 12 3-star ships I built for competitions. As for research, almost up to date with my power, 54.4 million. Wow, Pod, that is actually pretty good. That is actually pretty good. And what is the biggest thing in this game? As you go, when it was G3, it was all about ships, still making sure your crew was done, making sure your research was done. That's fine. G4 is where you're going to start seeing the change in trend, where it's not all about your ships. You can still take on a ship stronger than you in the G4 region, providing you've got decent research done. But it's like, this is my tree for the station. If we go into Galaxy, I'm pretty much mostly done. All I've got now is I've got a little bit of faction stuff left to do with the Federation and Romulans. Then I've got some more stuff in here, which all takes this Rudidium right here, this slot on screen now. All this takes the Rudidium. Now, this is stuff that I would not recommend touching at lower 40s. I would not recommend touching it at lower 40s. Maybe for that big domination event that comes around that actually pays out platinum. Yeah, bang out one, maybe two of these just to complete that SMS. Absolutely. It's the only time you really want to be touching this. But other than that, make your way through. As you can see, I've got one more here still left to do. Again, I'm restricted by materials, but I've got, because I barely touched it, I've got loads of Rudidiums, which means I can go through. I've got here, which needs the foundry at 46, so that's still to come for me. So I've got to get everything up to 46 and make sure I do all the 46s to the point where it's asking me I need various buildings and bits and bobs at 47. So it's like I've still got all that to go through. But as I've just showed you, I've still got a load of green lines on all this Rudidium stuff that I still need to do. You complete all 3-star research before leveling 39, so 3-star is just ship scrapping. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what you want, is ship scrapping, making sure the ships that you've currently got are up to spec and that you can challenge. The G3 epics, I'm still using at 46. I'm still using the Enterprise and the Augur are all maxed out. They are far cheaper to repair by literally 200 times. 200 times. They're not as strong. They won't go as long. But when you think that your repair cost is literally 0.5% the cost of your G4 uncommon at tier 6 or tier 7, which is where mine are right now, then you take into account the rares and how much. I don't understand why not just camp at every ops level. Dave, you can camp at every ops level. You can camp and just do everything in that particular level. But the one thing is you will slow your progression down. Unless you've got the stuff to do everything in a big bulk at each level, you will slow yourself down. I've managed to progress through quite a bit of this in a relatively short space of time. The treasury, when I finally get around to being able to open one on a free-to-play, and I get the $100 one. I get the $100. Prime XP is the one I hope I can get by the end of the year for the multiphasics. Yeah, you on about this Prime Enhanced? Absolutely. However, while the mission keys in the recruit section will pay out 5 multiphasic credits every time you get it. So it's 5 a week. You will need to actually buy a $100 pack, which will actually give you enough multiphasics. I mean, it could be any $100 pack, any $100. I did. I bought the Xborg one to give me more faction Xborg credits. Shoot myself now. But it's the only one I've actually bought. But I wanted it as well for the metaphasic pad, metaphasic tokens to get that. And trust me, that has been a godsend for G4 ships, because that's another big problem with G4 ships is it's very difficult to level them up. You can grind them, but when it comes to doing your miners, yeah, it takes forever and a day. Even doing the auto grind in augment space is so difficult because it takes weeks to get anywhere with them. So, but there is a lot of research. I mean, that's just the first 3 trees. But then I've still got away teams, I've got outlaw, I've got starships to get through, the territory. Less said about the starbase tree, the better. And then I've got Xborg. So I've got literally loads of research to do. If I spent money every month on the game, with the exception of the battle pass, I'd be able to clear them all quite quickly. But as a free-to-play player, I actually have a benefit. And this is the one thing for if you are a free-to-play player. If you're spending, thank you very much, because you're keeping our game running. But if you are a free-to-play player, you will actually have a bigger advantage over spenders. You will have a bigger advantage. Even light spenders, you could still bring them into the free-to-play for this particular reason. And the reason being is building resources. Things like the optical diodes or the replicator rations, not the trial bells, not them, or the Nadion supplies. Because what you'll find as a free-to-play player, getting them will mean, I don't know why I just clicked that bit because I didn't want that one. Let's get out of there. That one. Because what you'll find is when you get your buildings finally up to the level you're at, so obviously I've still got about 4 levels with this to go, but I'm going to start accruing the Nadions ready for the next level before I'd even go there. I mean, the one thing is, right, if so at the minute my treasury is maxed out as far as I can go. But if we look in my inventory, now I've got to remember where these are particularly. I think they're in materials. So we've got to do a little bit of slow scroll here. Yeah, here they are. Optical diodes. I have 7,132. Now, because I've done this as free to play, where I am right now for the treasury, right, I know for a fact that 7,000 will take my treasury to level 49 or 50. 49 or 50. That's as far as I can go with those optical diodes. So for me, doing the free-to-play grind, this is why I say free-to-play will have a better advantage over spenders, because you build up all these pathetic extra weights of currency like rhodidium. You will build them up over time, so when you finally reach those higher level points, you're going to be able to blast through you can blast through most of that quite easily. So, right, back into chat a little bit. The auto grind fix has been a godsend. Managed to get most of my ships up to strength, but not the Cerritos. Cerritos, depending on what tier your Cerritos is at, Paul, I would probably say don't worry too much about it. Mine's at tier 5, level 25. That's as far as it's going. I don't need it any higher. I think I'm on a 6-minute support. Yeah, okay, fine, brilliant, not bad. Just work on the research now. But yeah, But I will admit, though, it's been an absolute godsend. And that is definitely one big thing that they brought in during the Voyager arc. That's actually been a benefit for the players, is the fact the auto grind in augment space is fixed. Because I see hundreds of players in there just auto grinding every single day. In fact, I don't think there's a second in the day where there's not at least 50 players grinding in the top system. So I started last year in June, and now Ops 43. Yeah, Mark, that's an absolute brilliant progression. In all honesty, that's an absolute great. I can do almost everything my alliance members can do except some things. Yeah, exactly. There are going to be certain things that you won't be able to do, because obviously jumping in 1 year to Ops 43, while an incredible feat, you are probably missing out on a load of things, which is not a problem, because eventually you'll get them. Eventually. Your M score's 126. Oh, Matt, you've actually just beaten me by 2, because mine's at 124. So, but it's like now, even I'm not even going to be bothering with what they call it, Exchange Armadas. I'm not even going to be bothered with them. I've got 2 maxed out Stellars. Can't be bothered to scrap them anymore. I'll just once a week go to the Xbox faction store, pull a week's worth of supplies, and then just work through the research as and when I get round to doing the outlaw research. Eventually, it'll all get done. M-score, yeah, it's for your Stella, mate. It's for your Stella. We'll say all the benefits of spend event. It forces you to catch up your research up. Yes, it can do if you let it. I mean, I don't participate in the spend events whatsoever. But if I've got the materials or the currencies or whatever I need, don't worry, Jerry. That shouldn't have been, don't worry, that should have been, yeah, no problem. I got that completely wrong. But yeah, I'll be able to blast through a load of research. I mean, the next treasury I can open will be, what are we on, 920 now, is about 3 months' time. About 3 months' time, and I can open up another treasury. Because I get 1,080 a month. So that's going to take me to 2,000 at the end of next month. And then obviously another 2 months after that. So that's what's that? That's September, October. So November is the next time I'm going to pull a chest. So in November, I'll be doing a massive blast on research again. That's not done. And that will probably be the last final bits of research for me to just move up to Ops 47. So it might not take me the 6 months to do everything I need to at Ops 46. But I've done the 40 Green Eclipse solos. As I sent you on Discord, my Stella's almost 2 million. Yeah. I don't think I can solo them yet. Not the Eclipse ones. Wasn't it? No, it wasn't the Eclipse ones, Mike, you sent me. It was the Gem Hadar one. As you can see, I'm mining gas because I've not done mining gas in ages. Because I literally prepared down how much I was actually doing. But now I'm actually back into it. I'm mining it, so it's like an hour and 23. So, great, that'll take me up to the point where I'm going to bed. And then I'll just... Yeah, I'd have to actually to recall that miner and get it emptied. In fact, what's his protected cargo? 449,000. Yeah, that's all right. I can leave that out through the night to mine the node again. So that's something for tomorrow. Ooh, mining event. You got to love your mining events. I got to admit, a couple of days ago when we had the Janeway mining event, I was able to just complete it literally within 2 seconds because I'd been mining in token space all day. So, oh, we're getting some resources and some materials today. Yay! Oh, 1,000. Now, one thing as I've noticed as well is that the ore seems to be one thing that they pay out in a fair amount of abundance, but yet the gas is one thing that they really, really tight on. So, but yeah. So what we got coming up next? Oh, it's the final. Your M score is 135. Whoa. Yeah, you got 4 more before you. Yeah, I mean, I'm stuck behind R&D levels. Yeah, you sent it to achievement 6 days ago. Oh, there's a lot posted in there lately, so that'll take some scrolling back. But I will have a look at that later on. I can't even. Oh yeah, as well. Don't forget you got your recruit token spend. That was with Leslie, Spock, and Kirk. Oh yeah, absolutely. They're the best crew to use for it. So, I had something in my head and I can't think what it was. Oh, that was it. I wanted the overflow. Here we go. I just want to see if there's any Neelix shards in this, because I've not actually been into this. So we've got no Neelix shards. We just got a helium frequencies. M15. Wow, Damien, you will get there. Just crack on with that outlaw research, and you will get there. But Damien, do not worry, because you're probably one of the vast amount of people who just didn't see any point in the Stellar. It was just too much of a hassle. Don't blame you. Look at Rev Juice. He was quite far behind as well. So I think, to be honest, I'm still ahead of Rev on that one. I'm not 100% sure, but it's so boring. The final. Yeah, I mean, where am I? 121 now. So, wow. Okay. If that's what I want to play for, then fine. But it's like I've only been spending to get the officers that I needed. So, but we've M88. Don't worry, Jerry. You'll get there eventually. I mean, Jerry, if I remember correctly, you're ops 44, if I remember correctly, or are you 45? So there are good researchers in that. Oh yeah, there's 44. I thought so. Yeah, there are some good researchers in the Outlaw tree. I'm not going to dispute that one. The problem is they're all at the bloody back end of it. So whereas like the territory trees, the opposite way around, all the good stuff's at the front, which is where it should be. But yeah, so yeah. But no, if you really want to work on your stellars, obviously now would where you are now would actually be a very good time to put a lot of focus into it. But what you've got to remember as well is with the pulling of the armadas, providing that you can run that your alliance also runs a load of armadas that you can actually get in. It's going to take you. You got to do a lot of grind with the Eclipse hostiles to start with, to make sure you get the security keys, so you can actually get the directives for the uncommons and the rares, and you'll get one of those armadas every single 2 days. One uncommon, one rare armada every 2 days, and providing you actually do enough, when you're R&D 49, you can finish it. Sweet. 49. I think I might just leave it till I get to 49, then I can do a blast on it. So thanks for that. I think I will just leave a blaster on that one. But yeah, so you get one uncommon and one rare every 2 days. And like I said, providing you manage to get in a lot of armadas with your alliance, it will actually no. because you get them out through winning through leading the Armada. But every 10 days, you will be able to earn 1 epic. Every 10 days. Yeah. The cooldown on it's every 3 days. So you do the math on that one. Your Stellar Loot cargo crew is the same on Voyager except 2. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've got over there. Increase the cargo so I can pull more loot. Put it this way, right? This poor Stellar with the full cargo can go out, fill its load. That's it. That's a day security pulled for me. It's a day's pull. But yeah, if I go into factions, and this is something not really recommended, but if you really want to, Stellar Efficiency 1, right? That security code's there is only 6,000 short of my daily. It's 6,000 short of my daily. That's it. Now, the Stellar Particles, if I wanted to pull them, obviously I won't be at the minute because I haven't actually got enough to do the 7-day chest because I banged in a load of research. Prioritize your research over these, I will say that. But you, when you actually get yourself maxed out reputation-wise with the X-Borg, you will actually pull more credits than you'll need for a single day's chest. So just an FYI on that one. But yeah, you'll probably get less Stellar Particles per month than what you'd actually get from scrapping a maxed Stellar per month. So it roughly works out about the same of doing this along with the Stellar, also all the Stellar, to actually, you know, complete the research. I've worked out it's going to take me about 18 months to complete the Stellar research doing this. Now, if I focused on the Stellar itself as well, instead of this, 18 months. It's the same. So, do I want to add an extra grind to my day with the Stellar for the next 18 months? Or should I be a lazy ass twat and just pull this for the next 18 months? Now, I know what you're saying. Well, why not do both and make it 9 months? Because it's still adding a grind. So, but there is that value there. I mean, eventually I might reconsider and start scrapping my Stellars. But for right now, I just can't be bothered. So, I do like the ability to scrap Stellar and use the particles to get gas or crystal. Then get ship parts, complete the research. Then start getting the extras with it. Yeah, absolutely. You will need to complete the research first, and we'll jump up to that store. And obviously, these are the ones you're on about. Now, mine's only G3 because I've not got the assimilated skin. The assimilated skin will change these to G4 and G5 respectively, depending on where you are. Me, I mean, I've pulled them in my Stellar videos. I have got Stellar videos, so I do recommend you check them out. But what you'll get out of here, I mean, if you actually look at it, the uncommons, 50 is your biggest, 20 is your smallest. I guarantee you ain't going to be pulling that big one because it's going to be locked behind a relatively small RNG basis. But yeah. Ship researchers are so strong you can kill freighter with Kinza if you want. Yeah, you can. Once you've got your Stellar to that particular level, I think it's M90, I think. Once you've got to M90, your Stellar is just wiping the floor with the level 40s. Absolutely wiping the floor. But yet, surprisingly, it's a grind. But I still think that the Stellar loop is better than Voyager. Work that one out. So, but what I will say about Voyager, and circling back round to the main aspect of today's show, is Voyager. There are a couple of good things that's come out of Voyager. One is the ship, for starters. We finally got Voyager. The second one is the research that came with Voyager herself. And to me, that's where the bread and butter is. Because not only is the research focused on Voyager, but it's also giving your ships that extra boost as well. So it's like enhanced warp cores, increasing warp speed for all your ships, making all your ships a little bit faster. So if someone's raiding one of your teammates, you can get there a little bit faster and help out. Impulse speed, making your impulse speeds a little bit faster. All ships. Again, we've just had the Transstellar Rally. That's a perfect one to help towards it. It's small, but it's a start. I mean, what does this top out at level 10? 12 points. Wow. Big numbers. But yeah. Faction tactics. Again. Increasing your damage dealt against faction ships. Just the red dots, mind you. Just the red dots. But to me, there is more value in this research tree than there is in the forbidden technology. Now, I can't dispute that some of the forbidden technology is pretty damn good, especially the epics, but I'd still go with that. Excursion efficiency is brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I've got mine at level 1 at the minute, and yeah, reducing the cost efficiency of your increasing your cost efficiency of your away team's research. Absolutely. Again, another thing that's going to help improve that for you. So, I mean, it starts off at 15%. What does it top out at? 70%. Okay, so a little bit of a reduction there, but it's still something, and it's still going to help increase, and make it faster. Again, research speed, making the research faster. Scrapping speed, making it faster. It's not big numbers, but awesome thing I'd done was 5-star crit damage deep space missions because of Voyager. Oh, that's that free G5 Prime, isn't it, Mark? Yeah, I haven't updated that video yet because obviously I've already done the missions. So I'm not quite sure how to update that video with using Voyager. But Voyager is definitely going to really help you complete that mission. Complete those missions, sorry. So, but yeah. And also you got extra stuff like protected cargo, your cargo hull, ship maintenance, improving your base cost for repair efficiencies. Yeah, the Prime. Yeah, like I said, I need to redo that video, but I'm not quite sure how to do it without showing it off. And that's obviously like the stable point of when I make videos. I like to actually show the whole thing off. So you can refer to those videos and go, right, I've done this bit. Okay, so what do I need to do next? Oh, I need to do that. Right, fine. Off I go do that. Come back to the video at that particular point. So that's what I like to do with my videos. Because then to me, that makes it easier than me just sat there going, well, if you do this, 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 you do this. Okay, how about I show you? A lot easier. Just like I did with the Voyager loop. Spent a full week going through the loop, recording point at point at point, and made that hour and a half long video. There's no way I could have reduced it down any further. But I did manage to knock 15 minutes off the actual video. It was about an hour and 45 long. So, away team territory research is so expensive. All reductions welcome. Exactly. And it is going to get expensive. I remember somebody in one of the other lines I was in mentioned about the away team's research needing God only knows how much of these Merit of Honors, the epic ones. So obviously you've got your service rewards, but again you still need like loads of these. I mean, if I put it out, look at the cost of that. It's costing me 281.2 thousand to start that, but I've only got 442,000. that, yeah. So any efficiency on this is going to be welcome when we get to those levels. Oh, some McDonald's.
Yes, for.
Okay, cheers. Thank you. Yeah, McDonald's. So don't. I'm not going to munch them now because apparently I'm very loud when I eat. So they'll probably be cold by the time I finish stream. But hey ho, I don't mind cold chicken nuggets. So, but yeah. Now the one research tree that you don't really need to worry too much about is this particular one. But yeah, I think, to be honest. Oh yeah, I've got a few left to do in the higher levels. But yeah. I mean, what's this one? I think this one was, oh yeah, R&D for 49. So yeah, I'm not gonna really ba 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 ba. Are you trying to do the McDonald's tune? Because it just went through my head for a second. I was just thinking, why are you trying to sound like a sheep? But then I thought, hang on, are you trying to sing the McDonald's tune? When I read it out, it's like ba 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 ba. I can't bloody do it. I mean, what's the thing? Is it nothing quite like a McDonald's or something like that they used to say? I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, I can't even remember how we got onto research, but I thought so. How did we get onto research? What was we talking about before the research? Before we went into the research, I can't remember what we talked about. What we were talking about. It's gone out of my head now. I know it was on about the stellar research and everything. The stellar numbers. You think they have to me back at some point, maybe assaults and new community events. M levels. Yeah. Right. We're talking about M levels. Yeah, so eventually you'll get there. Oh, that's it. Well, yeah, about whether to do the stellar grind. Yeah, I'm completely losing where I'm going. So, but that's the joys of my videos and my live streams. You never know where they're going to go actually when they come. I can have a full agenda set out. Yeah, you might as well just put it to one side. But no, talking on the community, the cooperative mechanics that's coming out over some point over the next 4 months. Not quite sure when, but anybody who caught Scopely's video that they dropped today, where Beck was interviewing Clay, who's been on before on the captain's log. They called it Code 47 for some reason today. But he alluded to a new ship coming out. I wonder. And yeah, Beck's video on YouTube is actually Star Trek Fleet Command's video, or should we say Scopely's video. But Beck was hosting the show today instead of Eco. In fact, I've noticed that Beck seems to be hosting a lot of those videos lately. But yeah, so she was interviewing Clay and he's hinted at a new ship, which he believes that players are going to enjoy playing with. Yeah, spenders will enjoy playing with it. Free-to-play players are going to have to wait for whenever it actually becomes available for them. Now, it could be under the 100-day grind. I'm sure he blushed when they said they had some lag. Oh, yeah. And to me, I don't know how anyone else saw this, but some of the comments I saw when he was talking about lag sounded more to me about like, yeah, we don't actually know what the problem is. We're trying to figure it out, but we still don't quite know what the problem is. So, I mean, mentioning about, oh, we've got all these teams doing this, these teams doing this. And, okay, that's cool. What are you doing to fix it? Oh, I know. How about clear out the frigging crap in the game? But I did actually notice that Beck did bring up the, like, a month break. And apparently we did that with, like, a couple of times so far. We've done it twice in 2 years. Where it's been, like, the compilation, the Oh, freaking it. What was the name of that pissing event before Strange New Worlds? Which had Lower Decks Part 2. It was Lower Decks Part 1 and then Anthology. It was the Anthology arc. How's that taking a bloody break? Yes, it was just adding some more to 3 previous arcs that had been done. Discover, was it TOS, TNG, and Lower Decks? Oh no, sorry, and Discovery. What Lower Decks was also part of it. I really don't get any confidence that they know what they're doing to fix it. And Paul, I actually agree with that one. I don't think they do. I mean, I'm not going to dispute that they're trying to fix it. It's part of the roadmap from December 2022. They are trying to fix it. But as my understanding of it goes, and I believe I've mentioned this before, so I'll try and simplify it really right down. Scopely create it, put it on their server. The problem is, it has to go out to another, from Scopely server to another server, say like Google server, which then distributes it to the wider range of Google players. So yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking, Mark. It's a complicated fix, but like I say, there's just too many levels to go through. Hey, High Tone, welcome in, buddy. There's just too many levels to go through for fixing this lag. And will they eventually ever get it done? In all honesty, I'm not holding my breath on that one, but it would be nice if they could. New chest introduced today that another fail. I'm guessing you on about the dream tokens. Yeah. I haven't actually been in the pay store, but I have actually seen the things. Now, where did I see them? Oh yeah, in the event store. That was it. But yeah, an announcement was quickly put out in the tavern on Rev Juice's thing about not doing it. I quickly copied and pasted that straight into my Discord as well, just so players knew. Don't open it, or whatever whatever it said. I got the feeling he was thinking lag is not Scopely's fault. The player's diverse device can cause it. Yes, I will actually agree with that sentiment, Dave, that some players' devices will potentially cause it. Mine can. I guarantee that this thing can. It was having a problem connecting to YouTube, and it wasn't a problem with YouTube because YouTube was working fine right up until I started the stream. It was working fine. What happened, I do not know. It maybe had something to do with that scheduled stream. Maybe my device just didn't want to connect to it properly. I don't know. But I will run a test or two over the coming days just to figure out what happened. But when it comes down to lag for Scopely, like I said, because they've got to put it on their servers, they've got to move it from their testing servers. Yes, they actually have testing servers. Even though it really looks like it's not, they don't. But they do. They have testing servers. So they've got to move it from the testing servers when it's past the QA and everything on the testing servers onto the hard servers, which is then distributed to all the different operating systems like PC, Android, iOS. Then they distribute it out to all the devices, phones, tablets, PCs, Macs. So you're always going to have that problem from the start right down to the player's device or computer. You're always going to have that problem in some way. I use Android on PC, Windows, and Linux. I've heard of Linux, but I don't quite know what it is. Like they're not the device. Yeah. And I know Scopely have tried putting different patches in place. They are trying different stuff. I mean, when they say that, was it Redis or something like that is one they've used, that they're putting this patch on here, this patch on here. At the minute, it's all sticky plasters. because they haven't figured out the actual fix. But I'm sure once they've got the actual fix out, it will come out during one of the updates. Hell, who knows? Maybe it's an operating system. Everything works fine with my internet except the game. It's an X file, I think. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I mean, I do really think that they have struggled with this concept of going to multiple different operating systems. Because when you think about it, right, when they do like Q's trials, they're not just creating it for PC. They've got to create a version for Android. They've got to create a version for iOS. They've got to create a version for Linux. So there's like multiple different operating systems. And there's going to be some various aspect. It's always others' fault. Yeah, funny enough, we say that about the Conservatives here in the UK. They keep blaming other people for the problems that they've created. But let's not get into that. Yes, NetSpeed can create issues. Yeah, it can. So you're going to have that potential domino effect because they've got to create a system that works for multiple different operating systems and then push it out. So, and then if those particular receiving servers, before it gets to us, are not understanding the language or whatever properly, then you've got a problem. But it doesn't help when the likes of like Ripper can come along, look at the code and go, that's broken. But yet it's been through all this rigorous testing. And it takes somebody else just to come in like Ripper, and hats off to Ripper. We all love Ripper, he's brilliant. He comes in, looks at the code and go, that's not going to work. That's broken. That's not going to work. Yep, no, okay, forget it. But Scopely still send it out. So blame others, put a ticket in. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. But the one thing is with these tickets as well is they're pulling information like your operating system and everything. I'm operating Android 13, if I remember correctly, on the device I'm using right now. So Android 13 is relatively new. I'm constantly getting Zoom problems on my game. Constantly getting Zoom problems. I'm constantly having to close the game down completely and reboot it. But it is what it is. I haven't reported it yet. The curious case of Pig Pev. Exactly, she's the perfect example. Scopely messed it up. They've got the wrong code, and Ripper just comes on and goes, look at it, and goes, yeah, she's broke. And literally, he announced it on his hi Paul, you're right. So you changed devices. So you was operating on a different device. A different YouTube account. But what the F issue on the 12 gigabyte RAM Android on a good Wi-Fi or 16 gigabyte RAM on a PC with good landline. So with a GB landline. Again, multiple operating systems. It literally comes down to the operating systems. Scopely can think that they've got an Oscar-winning performance in their new creations and everything. But until it actually comes to us players, yeah. And Darren, you're absolutely right. They couldn't afford Ripper. They couldn't afford him. But then again, Ripper's got his own job here in Europe. So, as far as I'm aware, Ripper he's doing as best as he can. Obviously, he's got a lot to deal with. I've noticed, just go back to Android and iOS. Yeah, that's the problem with that. There's a lot of players were asking for like the PC. I mean, to be honest, right, the PC version should have been so easy to sort out, so easy. But yeah, he is going through some hard times, bless him. I'm not going to delve into it. DJ has, because obviously DJ is closer to Ripper than I am. So obviously, if you do want to know what's going on, I recommend obviously you listen to some previous recent podcasts of DJs, because obviously he has mentioned it on there. There is a video from Scopely, which is actually controlled by DJ. Actually, because DJ hosted it and Ripper was there, and obviously he did mention about the fact he did actually announce what Ripper was going through. Out of respect for Ripper, I won't mention it because I don't. Obviously, I know the guy, but I don't know him personally, and it's not for me to say what's going on in his life. So, but obviously, all I love and yeah, all our positive energy to Ripper through these trying times. So, but circling back to the servers, so yeah, to be honest, yeah, so it's on. I know it's on the podcast. I haven't actually listened to it, but I've got the general idea what's happened. It's sad. It is sad, but these things do happen in life. I'm sorry to say. But yeah, so lag is something that sadly we're going to have to put up with for a while longer, probably a good while longer, until Scopely actually manage to figure out what's going on and sort it out. Hopefully they'll figure it out eventually. But circling round to this mysterious ship, now one comment I did see on that video was suggesting it could be the Enterprise NX-01. Now, that would say to me that they're pushing out another IP. Well, usually they don't actually do more than one major IP per year. So, but, we had last year, we had Lower Decks, we had Strange New Worlds, and we had Deep Space Nine. Well, there's 3 IPs in one go. But yet your biggest one out of that was actually Deep Space Nine. So what we had this year that we could actually say a number of IPs. Oh yeah, Voyager. That's all we've got. That's all we've had this year. This year's been full of various little things. Like you've had the Xborg. So you could say Picard really, but it was called Legacy. And it was using just the season 3. It wasn't actually using seasons 1 and 2. So yeah, you got Legacy as your IP. You got your Xborg. What else did we have? I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? That's all we've had this month, this year. Yeah, so I mean, they could do another major IP. Enterprise would be the next logical one that they would do, unless they wanted to revisit one of the previous IPs that they've done. Like, I don't know, probably give us a better story for TNG or something. But yeah, but as for this ship, I really can't think what they're going to release that's going to be benefit. Now, because they did mention about cooperative stuff and all that, I could see Archer. I can see Archer could fit very good on my ships. Yeah, probably. But given the fact that they're on about cooperative events and achievements and things like that, and the whole mechanic, could we be getting another support ship? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Another support ship. Now, I would love to see a raiding ship. I would love to see a raiding ship coming in. One to replace the amalgam. So sorry, it had to start ops for shipyard 45. Let's give the amalgam a go for those lower levels. But stop releasing too much. Enough. Yeah, it is, Jerry. But sorry to put it this way. Scopely make their money through new releases. New content, that's where the spenders spend the most money. So, because they want it and they want it now. Better not come out with another Enterprise. Hell, didn't get the first one yet. Well, no, say if they come out with this Enterprise, I don't know how they're going to do it because, yeah. Because NX-01 is before TOS, so they'd have to release it in like the 20s. Well, there's no space left in the 20s or the 30s. So, but, I mean, it's like, hey, Marcus, welcome in, buddy. I lost one of your Alliance players the same way a few months ago. It's still quite... Yeah, it is. Release of the Galaxy skin. Oh, a re-release of the Galaxy skin. Meh. No, I can't see them doing that. I can't see them doing that. But yeah, it is difficult, Marcus. It is difficult. I mean, I've never been through that. But I dread the day I have to go through it. I dread the day. And it scares me every day when I hold my kids when they're asleep and that thought goes through my head. It scares me. Absolute somewhat chronic. I mean, it's like my 3-year-old son is autistic. He's never out of my sight when we're out. Never. So, the brand new ship with a super ability, scrap it and you get a chance to get a higher resource back or nothing. Yeah, Matt, let's not play that one. Let's not even give Scopely the idea of that one. Having that mechanic in Q's Trials, so in the Forbidden Technology, was the biggest mistake Scopely had ever done. Section 31 Enterprise Dreadnought. Yeah. Now, they can't do dreadnoughts in a way because they've put rarities on ships instead of actual, naval combat style. I would love to have seen the combat style be like frigates, destroyers, cruisers, and things like that. Oh, yeah, you never know, Mark. You never know. But I don't want to give Scopely that kind of an idea. But, yeah. So it's like we don't really have dreadnoughts in the game, sadly. I would love to see that mechanic come in where you do have like the frigates through warships and battleships and things like that. I would love to see that come into the game because I think it would add a whole new dimension and dynamics to the game. It really would. And Scopely would, put it bluntly, would make a killing out of it. They would make a killing out of it. So, I mean, who knows? They might even be thinking about something like that for G6. You never know. The Excelsior. I would absolutely love the Excelsior. Absolutely love it. One of the best workhorses of the Federation. You want about a trading post, aren't you, Mark? Believe it or not, I actually did put a thing about a trading post on. I'll tell you what, right? Into the CC's chat. And I'll call it up. And I will tell you what I said. I won't go through the replies that I've had on it. Oh my God. Right, here we go. It was a very, very long one. Okay, so right. So, no, I'm never going to stop dreaming. So, it is an idea. Okay, right. And it is the trading center. Okay. So, listen on this one. Right, and I'll turn the music down so obviously you can hear me better on this one. As long as Scopely don't change it into a nightmare. Yeah, they probably would. But anyway, so a trading center. So dotted around the galaxy would be various trading posts ran by the Ferengi, but players need a specific cargo ship called, and I called it the Grabman. I couldn't use the word I wanted to use without copyright. So I called it the Grabman. And let me just say, the name I wanted to use was a yellow circle that did that. So I'll leave it out. But you'd also need a receiving bay in your base. So trading posts dotted around the galaxy, just various ones, and a receiving bay in your base, and then a ship that will run between the two. Now, I said that it would operate between cross servers and everything like that. That could be a bit, too much, but hey ho. And it would have stuff available for players to go trade with as long as they've got the Latinum to spend. So we're using a currency already in game. All right, now, Paul. Smackman. I've never heard of Smackman, Chris, but yeah. So now, the trading receiving bay on the base will be available from Ops 15, and there is a reason why I say Ops 15, and requires a key to unlock. Okay, so we've got to make sure that this is put behind some sort of a wall that players got to work towards. And again, to upgrade it, it will need optical diodes and latinum. So basically, again, taking currencies we already have in game, so we don't need to create a new currency. During the initial month, players can earn blueprints towards the Grabman that will be required as free-to-play via the Battle Pass. So they've done this before, like with the original Vadar, where they put it in the free line of the Battle Pass, the chance for you to unlock a ship. Okay. And the Grabman itself will have 12 tiers. Yeah, 12 tiers. This is a bit that players most likely not going to want. Yeah, I know we've got the space around there, but I think they've already got plans for those 2 slots, Mark. So the Grabman is 12 tiers. It's a hybrid of G4, G5, and G6, but it's available from Ops 15. Now, there is a reason why. It remains Tier 1 locked until Ops 45, when Tier 2 unlocks. And it's got level locks from 45 all the way up to 70, because G6 is coming. So by the time they actually get around to doing this, G6 will be here. Its main ability is to increase loot pulled during base raid at 10% at Tier 2. There will be no ability at Tier 1 because of the amalgam. So which means you're going from Ops 15 to Ops 45 on just just Tier 1. That's it. Because you've got the amalgam, which is your base raider. But from Ops 45, it could replace the amalgam and become a new base raider, but starting at 10%, not 0.000 something, whatever. So at Tier 12, it would be 50%. No protected cargo. That's a bit that could be a bit of an issue for players. It will automatically deploy when you purchase some goods from the trading post, which is run by the Ferengi. But it can be intercepted and raided by other players. So you'd have to be careful. If used as a base raider, obviously it must be deployed on one of your docks. The trading station in players' bases can increase the Grabman's cargo capacity by X%. So between levels 1 and 44, it's increased by 1% each level. And then from 45 upwards, it will jump at 5% each level. From level 50, the building in your base increases cargo capacity on all your ships by 8%, including the Grabman. Now, obviously, when you actually announce something, you've got to put a pay ID behind it. So I said, obviously, well, you don't get enough optical diodes to do both your treasury and this new building, so players are going to want to go buy it in there. But the ship would be completely free on the free-to-play path. So, and then obviously in the trading posts, I put players can also sell items what they have that they don't want at 30% that the trade 30% cost of what the trading post will sell it at. So for example, if you want to get rid of Kamari blueprint, it'll be 10 pieces of latinum that trading post would buy that one blueprint off you. But they would resell that blueprint at 30 pieces of latinum. So but yeah, so that was the insane idea I had. But I mean, what do you guys think of that one? Trading barter is a contract between agreements. The barter concept is no taxes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but an exchange building, yeah, definitely. That is no trading. Right, you've got me there, Jerry. Which bit's not no trading? I mean, like I said, it's a bit of an out there idea. It's something that's not big. It won't. It's not. All right, my idea's not trading. Well, no. Well, yeah, because they're buying off you stuff that you don't want. The Ferengi are. But then if you stay and buy something else, well, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but it's not trading because you're not trading your Kamari blueprints for something like an Enterprise blueprint. You like the idea of being able to snipe the cargo, especially with the base raiding part. Yeah. It sounds like you make a possible arc runner for. Yeah, no, unfortunately, there's more to an arc runner than just coming up with ideas, sadly. Yeah, it's definitely. The one thing is, when you do ideas like this, you do have to pitch it in a way that Scopely will buy it. It's got to be benefit for them. So the benefit for them would be the fact that you've got to go into the paid store to buy more optical diodes and latinum just to upgrade the building and keep your treasury upgrading as well. How good would it be protecting itself, or would it need support? Good question there, Borg. I forgot to add that little bit. No weapons. No weapons. So basically, if it gets attacked, it's gone. Which, yeah, pay $99.99 for the ability to trade. Yeah. So type of a trading post or no trading post, same thing. Yeah, you could say that. But yeah, it'd have no weapons. Like I said, no protected cargo. So which basically means if someone comes up and attacks it when it's... To be perfectly frank, right, the easiest way to put it was it will warp away from that trading post. So basically, when it enters the system where your base is, if you know where that player's base is, you've got to try and intercept it right there. So that's literally your window. How is it related to anything Star Trek? Ferengi. Think about the Ferengi civilization. When Rules of Acquisition came out last February, we was all hoping we was going to get a trading station center, because that's what the Ferengi do. They're merchants, they're buyers, they're sellers. They're in business to make business. Star Trek, no money. Yes, there is. It's called Latinum. Think about it. Star Trek Deep Space Nine brought the concept of currency back into Star Trek. It brought it in. So they're robbing gits too. Yeah, they are. The Ferengi are robbing gits. So to me, it's a perfect analogy for Scopely. We're Ferengi. We're going to give you this trading post. But yeah, or exchange post, whichever way you want to call it. And like I said, just various ones dotted around the galaxy. Hell, Scopely can even create their own systems for it if they wanted to. Put a big one in the Ferenginar system. At least it'll give it some use. But it's like I said, to me, it would give a player a chance to get rid of all the stuff that they don't want anymore, and for newer stuff, or like I say, you could just sell everything in your items bot that you don't want and just get some extra latinum for it. But yeah, so bringing it into what's related to Star Trek is the Ferengi. So yes, I'm sorry to say, and Bandit's going to love this one. Another Ferengi arc with a little bit more mining latinum. So Bandit would absolutely love that. So, but yeah, so that's just my general idea. So, right, we've got about 20 minutes left of the show. So let's, like I said, the agenda's gone out the window, but I do want to circle around to the event store currency that we've got this month. So now, as you can see, I'm currently stood on 92,000. Have to pay to get rid of unnecessary stuff. I keep the hoarded junk. No. The Ferengi will give you like 10 strips of latinum for a Kamari blueprint, but then they're going to sell it to Mark for 30 strips of latinum. So now, because Scopely love taking stuff out of the economy, like incursions, they don't put any titanium in for your repairs or dilithium. So there you go. That's what they're taking out for joining incursions. So now they can take latinum out of the economy as well. But yeah, call it outpost something with a Federation banner and related, and the Star Trek related stuff is given. Yeah, you could do. Federation trading post in the Sol system, a Romulan one in Romulans, or a Klingon one in Klingons. Klingons would have the bars in it, the food outlets and everything for drinking and eating live gah. So, but yeah. But anyway, right, so on to the event store. The event store currency. Now, obviously, if you are in my Discord, you would have seen that I'm actually tracking the amount of loot. And as of the end of day Monday, or before event change on actually today, we were standing at, what was it, 214,000 loot store credits. Yeah, that's free to play. 214,000. So now to me, that seems a little bit light. Just calling it up here. Oh, sorry, 218.4 thousand. I wrote. Like I wrote, Beaver, other games do it. Oh, before. Yeah, they do. Other games do it. And in fact, most of the games don't even launch on their inaugural launch day without a trading post or an exchange center or something like that. Most of the games don't. So it perplexes me and a lot of other players why we haven't got one yet. Hell, when it was launched in 2018, the bloody building was there, right where the treasury is right now. But the building was bloody there. Available from Ops 50. And they got rid of it. The event, they started off being called the bank market, then it was called the bank. But yeah, so 218,000 event store loot event change today, and then obviously we've had the extra, what is it, 6, 6, and 14. So what's that? That's 26.2 thousand extra added today. And yeah, we are feeling very light because I'm sure around this point in previous arcs or in previous event stores, we've been around about 350,000 loot. Now, Scopely have actually said to Rev Juice, I'm not sure if DJ's chased it up, that apparently it's all backloaded. It'll be during the final week of the arc. So, what are your feelings? Do you think that we're actually going to meet our target of around about 350 to 400,000 or 450,000 event store loot this month? Because at the minute, the way it's dropping, I'm very dubious. I'd love to see it actually drop. I mean, having an event today, bearing in mind, it's a 2-day event, but getting 14,000 for a 2-day event, yeah. But we've got more than one SMS, but then again, we've had that on the previous 2 weeks. I think it was on the Tuesday where we've been given a load of SMSs with around 6,000 loot. And today we've only got 2. And then we've got the away teams, which is a 2-day event with 14,000 loot, which basically averages it out to around 7,000 per day. So it's like, yeah, are we really going to see the kind of loot levels that we want to see? Because I don't think we are. I mean, we've got this now. So you got a chance to get some 2-Vox shards or some trait XP. Yay! But it's like, I'm stood really trying to think, what am I going to spend the rest of my loot store on at the minute? Well, I am thinking the new 2, because obviously I do want to get that sorted as fast as possible. But, yeah, I can't say that we're going to get a lot of... It's hard to be positive at the minute with everything that's gone wrong so far. You'll be ecstatic if you get 300,000. Yeah. They put the Cerritos score in the event shop today. 450,000 currency, I think. Yes, I did actually notice the Cerritos has dropped in here. Where? That's it. So, yeah. 3,750 for a single blueprint. Also, you need 120 shards. So, yeah, around 450,000 event store loot. Yeah. Well, the way things are going, we're not even going to get that close to that. And then Scopely want you to actually fork out all that. Now, to me, this month, for the event store that we've got this time round, it is all about the officers. Yes, that was the refit. It doubles your it doubles the length of time that your Cerritos boosts other ships. Oh, I've spent way more than that, Jerry. I have spent way more than that. I've easily spent over around about 200,000 already just getting the officers that I needed to get, which was Harry, Tom, the Doctor, and Janeway. They were the 4 officers that I needed to get. So, but it's so. I mean, I can make out a rough estimation of how much it's cost me so far. So it's like the Doctor, I needed 10 shards, so that's 60,000 first off. Janeway, I needed about 15 shards by the time I eventually got round to it. So that's another 90,000. So that's 150,000 already. Harry, I needed I think I needed about 10 for Harry. So that's another 20,000. So that's 170,000 I'm already at. And Tom, I needed about 16. So again, that's another 30,000. So that's 200,000. So 202,000. So yeah, so I spent around about 200,000. Now, obviously, because I'm on 92,000, obviously we did get that chest as well yesterday. But I've also got some leaderboard ones as well. I spent more than 180 with full unlock Mantis and tier 2 for BLT and Tuvok. Nice. So, I mean, I'm not even sure how many shards I need for, what, 55? So that's going to cost me, what, 10, 20, 50, so 5 times that is 100,000. 110,000 just to send Tom to tier 2. Which I suppose is not bad, really. Send Harry up to increase his chance of morale. But yeah. So event store loot is like, I don't understand why the Archon has decided to load everything towards the rear of the Ark, because that's just going to upset a lot of players. Because it's like, I was getting into the second week and I was just thinking, am I actually ever going to earn enough to actually get all these officers this month? Because I was seriously looking like I wasn't going to. Free stuff faster, good. I need 18,000 more currency to upgrade Janeway. Nice. You spent yours on a official warp cut. And what number's that going to make this time, Bandit? Hope in the next couple of days you'll get enough for the Defiant. Hopefully, I mean, like I said, we're at 218,000, so we're already 200,000 down. 8. Oh my lordy, man. Have you got 8 docks now? You got 120 left. So a bit more than me then. I'm just totally... don't forget you can get Harry and Tom through the field trade. Yeah, I can get 5 more shards each from there, but I'm ages away from getting them 5 shards. And Janeway. Yeah, Janeway's in there as well. But like I say, I'm ages away from getting them. So you've got the 8 docks. I'd love Dry Dock H, and it would be nice if they actually dropped the keys into the event store. I would easily save up all my currency just to get one of them, just so I can get the dock. And I think that's one thing I think we could probably potentially ask for as free-to-play players, that these keys drop in the event store. Yeah, 25, yeah. I believe there was a song with that line. I can't remember what the song was called. I think it was In the Year. In the year 2525. I can't remember what the lines were. But they were going through... It's a very old song. Some of the older audience may actually know. Cleopatra 2525. No, it wasn't called Cleopatra. But I actually have never even heard of Cleopatra 2525. You know which song I'm on about, Jerry? Yeah, it's like... I don't even know where they came out with these ideas when they actually made that song, but they did. So, show post Xena. Why Xena? Ziga Evans. Was that the person who sang it? Oh yeah, Ziga and Evans in the year 2525. Right, now I can do the lyrics from the 60s. Yeah, it was in the 60s. in the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, they may find in the year 3535. Yes, as I say, I've got the lyrics right in front of me. It's like the final paragraph before they circle back round to the beginning is, now it's been 10,000 years, man has cried a billion tears for what he never knew. Now man's reign is through, but through eternal night, the twinkling of the starlight, so very far away, maybe it's only yesterday. And then they go back to in the year 2525. And don't worry, I'm not going to serenade you with my absolutely atrocious singing voice. So, but yeah, I mean, I do like that song. I need to get it added to my Spotify because I forget a lot of the old songs that we've got deep. But yeah, that's what I hear when Scope says something like we'll fix it in the future. Yeah, in 2525. Absolutely. So, but right, so is there any questions or anything you'd like? If you decide to sing, I'll leave. Yeah, don't worry. The only time I only do singing in one particular place, and the family have to suffer that every time I have a bath. The other song is from ABBA, Money, Money, Money. Yeah, that's definitely a Scopely song. I'll be level 50 in 2525. Now, Joe, you'll be level 50 long before that. I mean, like I said, I'm predicting level 50 by December 2025. So I'll guarantee I'll be in the 50s before the end of 2024. I guarantee I will be. So, because the economy, when G6 launches in G4, is going to get that much better. Yeah, right. Okay, keep on dreaming. But it'll get to that point where that level 49 will be so much easier to do than what it currently is. So, cause obviously, players are having to spend a lot of time at level 49 just to build up. Because what is it? The cost from level 49 to 50 is I've got the hiccups now. It's pretty much the same cost as it is from. Forget I'm free to play. No, Jerry, I haven't forgot that. I ain't forgot that. Yeah, the cost from 49 is the same cost as it is from 46 to 49. So, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. I don't even know what the cost is going to be for me to go from 46 to 49. But it's going to be quite a lot. I know for a fact I've got the steel. I've got the power steel, not a problem. But beyond that, yeah. So it might be one of these. I'll just make the progression through slowly, but every couple of months jump a level. Amos 53, one day after Scopely sends out their last comp chest and shuts the game down. I don't think Scopely's ever going to shut this game down. It will come to a point where they will stop making new content because they just won't have any more material. Obviously, we've got Star Trek Discovery finishing next year. I've just seen parts of a trailer for the first episode. Looks impressive, and it looks like Burnham's going to have some challenge with another Starfleet captain. But no, while the game's still making vast amounts of money, per se, Scopely ain't going to shut this game down. Even when it still makes a modest amount of money, they're not going to shut it down. But they'll probably get to a point... excuse me. They will get to a point where they probably will put an end game in. And it'll probably be like level 200. World would end, game will be in Alien Museum after. Yeah, probably. And then the next thing you know, Doctor Who will turn up and have a look at it and just think, yeah, that was just a waste of time. They will keep adding new servers to get new player base. But wait for the rest of us to get bored with slower upgrades at higher ops levels. Isn't it already a cash cow? Yes, it is already a cash cow. It is already a cash cow. When new content drops, that's when their bottom line does that. Goes out the roof. Especially with decent content. But they've not dropped. I don't think they've actually dropped below their bottom line in quite some time. So they'll have a higher bottom line for the release of new content and then determine whether or not it's a successful content or not. But then again, that's just me making presumptions. I will just say that is me making presumptions. I bet it's billions of income. Oh, yeah. Well, when you're looking at the fact that some high-level G5 players, like the 58s, 59s, and 60s, are looking at crossover with Starship, spending, on average, 6 figures. Yeah. You're definitely probably getting close to the billions mark now. But yeah, obviously I do feel sorry for those players as well, because they haven't got much in the way of content up there. They get the new content and then obviously they blast their way through it, and then they've got nothing else to do for the rest of the month. So, but it is what it is. Hopefully one day Scopely will actually start listening more to the players and start actually, thinking about what can we do to help the players today, rather than giving us so many barriers to actually try and break down. So, but anyway, that's it for today's show. Thank you everyone for coming to join me and joining the content. I do apologise it hasn't quite gone entirely to plan. But as I said earlier, that's the way my shows go. 6-star stuff incoming with 6-star bugs. Oh yeah, these bugs are going to be gold plated, and they're going to be dropping like good old golden platinum turds. So, but yeah, so thank you everyone for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out and subscribe if you haven't already. Donation links are also available in the video. Will not be available in this video's description, but they are available in the channel's description overall. Don't forget the join button is also there should you wish to join. Other than that, thank you for joining me. I'm Admiral Pegasus. This is the Pegasus Show live. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.